Change. It's the only constant in the universe, yet it's the most difficult thing for us humans to do. And it's because we are so addicted to the familiar that we don't actually really want to change. We want a life. I mean, most of us see a life that we desire to have and that we dream of having. So for me, I had to make multiple significant changes in my life to get to where I'm at today with my physical health and my career. And now I'm actually making a change into shifting over to becoming who I truly want to be, which is a YouTuber, which is a social media influencer, because I know that there is a shift on planet Earth happening right now where consciousness is shifting and a lot of change is taking place. There's a ton of emotions behind that. There's a ton of emotions because you have to let go of other identities. Like, I used to be the music guy. I was on hit radio and I was making an album and I was doing all these things, and then all of a sudden my producer retired before I finished my album. And I had to let go of this idea that I wanted to be. I can't even get up really and sing in front of people. I have sang in front of one person in my life. That is, like, actually two people in my life. Just me and them. And that's my adopted mom and a really old friend of mine. And that's it. Because something's keeping me afraid. Something's, telling me I'm not enough. And so I had to get real honest with myself and who it is I wanted to be. Now, I'm still going to be doing music and I'm still going to be creating music because I believe it's powerful. I believe music is the most powerful thing because everything is sound. Even your energetic frequency of who you are is sound to the universe. You're omitting this sound to the universe, and the universe is picking up on that. And the field is giving you things based off that sound frequency, based off your energetic frequency. And so change is hard. I'll be the first to say it. I had to give up this idea of who I thought I was. And when I did, oh my God. But change is inevitable if you want a different life than you're living. If you want the same kind of life, if you're happy with your life, if you're happy with everything, you don't have to change anything. You will continue to live today, tomorrow, and the next day relatively the same, so long as you don't change. But there are some times where change is inevitable because there's influences that you can't control. But then it's about being mindful in the moment, because you might not want to change. But let's say your partner wants to change. Them changing and you not changing means you're not going to be in their life anymore, because you'd have to change with them if you wanted to be. And so that's how change can be inevitable. Because sometimes you can't, well, not sometimes, all times, you cannot control anything outside of you. You simply cannot. You can just only control how you respond to those things. Most people, especially the person who doesn't want to change, they're not going to want to let that person go because they don't want to change. And so that's when it gets all mucky and you get all emotional and you try to hold on and you try to, beg for them and whatever it is, and you completely just obliterate yourself in your own emotions and your own mental because you don't want to change. Like, if that person leaves you, you're going to fall down. You're going to be doing some things that you normally probably don't do because you're being forced to change, and you're trying so hard to hold on to that if you're not mindful and you make some really shitty decisions, you're gonna not be happy with the results of that change, I can promise you, from personal experience. And because I'm sure you've also had experiences where you did some things you're not proud of, or you did or said some things that were hurtful that you wish you could take back that you can't because you already said them. So if you really want to know if you're changing in life, this is for anyone who truly wants to change. Think about your thought patterns, like the ways that you're thinking, just even about things. For example, I was in the car the other day and my milkshake, not my milkshake, my smoothie spilled all over me. And I was pissed because it was really hot out, and I was like, come on, I was on the side of the highway. I was like, really? An old version of me would have been so angry. I'd have been so angry, and I would have taken it out probably on people who I like connected with during the rest of that day. But instead, I just looked at it differently. My thought was, what if I was going to get into an accident or something and the universe was just protecting me? What if this was for my best good? So I cleaned it up because there was nothing I can do. It already spilled. It's my fault. I took it on the road. I wasn't paying attention. It's my fault. No one did that to me. Universe maybe did if it was to protect me. But you have to notice the way you start like thinking about things. Are your thoughts and the patterns of your way of thinking, are those different? And the reason I'm saying that is because that is a telltale sign that you are changing. Because it all starts with your thoughts. Once you can recognize that, you're moving in the right direction. And honestly, if people say, have you ever heard this, right? This is like another real telltale sign if you're actually truly changing. People are going to say, who are you? I saw this in personal fitness so many times when people would start to take it serious and really go at it, and they would start losing the weight and they'd get their confidence, and their friend group who was still doing all the old things, who didn't want to change, tried to hold them down, tried to hold them back, and tried to tell them who they were. And then they started, saying, oh, you think because you lost all the weight, you're better than us, and so the way people respond to you is another telltale sign. Almost always when you truly want to change. Now, if that friend group, if they all went in and did it together, and they all went and lost the weight, and they all started taking their life and body serious, that wouldn't have happened. They would have supported each other. They would have lifted each other up. But change is hard, and change is hardest when you don't have any control. The friend group didn't have any control over the person who wanted to lose the weight and get in the gym and take their life serious. And so it bothered them because it wasn't familiar. They didn't know this new friend. What do you mean you're not going to go out and get ice cream shakes with us? What do you mean you're not going to go out and have a bunch of drinks this weekend? What do you mean you're going to track your macros? Change. It's going to reflect back to you. And people are not afraid to let you know that you're changing, because you're challenging the perception that they have of you. And even like this video, I couldn't have made this video on change and have the understanding of it the way that I do if I didn't change the way I viewed the world. I recognize now that the moment you try to change someone outside of yourself, you become the manipulator. Even if your intentions are pure. Even if my intentions are pure and genuine and I don't want to hurt this person, but I want them to change because I can see it. Because most of the time we can see the best in people. But the moment you try to change anything outside of you, you are trying to manipulate and control. And universe says, not today. You can't. You simply just cannot. So paying attention to how you even view the world in general, and as a collective, is another telltale sign of if you're changing or not. And so the number one thing with change that stops all of us, every single one of us, it will stop you in your tracks. It's if you can't let go. If you can't let go of that relationship or that family member or that friend or that coworker or that boss or whatever it is, that job, career you have, if you can't let go, you will not change. You will never change. Even if that partner that you're with, the one who wants to change, leaves you, that I was talking about before, and you don't change, all that's going to happen is you are just going to attract the same energy. Different body, different physical appearance, because we all have our own physical appearance, But it's going to be the same energy. It's going to be the same dynamic. It's going to be the same relationship. Because you don't want to change. It will look new, but it will feel the same. At the end of the day, I think truly, if you want to change, you need a clear vision of where you're going and why you want to change. If you don't want to change, again, that's fine. No one needs to change. But if you're miserable and you're hurting other people because you think life sucks and because you think bad things always happen to you and you're not changing anything, that's when I have a problem with it. Because you're capable of change. It's not going to be easy. No, it's not. It is the most difficult thing for us to do. The most difficult. Because we are programmed and we are running on that program, and we don't like anything outside of the familiar. We don't. We like to stay safe and secure in all facets. It's why most of us have a 9-to-5. Because it's safe. Because we know we're going to get a check. And so we rely on that. I know when the time is right and the time comes in my life, I'll make decisions based on the change I truly want in my life. You have to become these things. You have to become something new. And that requires change. You have to lose the old identity. You know, think of like a clay project. And you're making a pot, right? And you look at the pot and you're like, ah, dang, you put so much effort, so much time, so much into making this. Now you want to make something else. You want a new clay project. But this is all the clay you have right here. Imagine that clay being you. You're going to have to crumble her down and start over. And it's going to be uncomfortable. But then, through that change, you'll create what it is you want. And then maybe you want to change again. That's this whole idea with this, your higher self. It's like, your higher self is right now. This is my highest self. Sure, I only have 400 some subscribers on YouTube, and I'm struggling with making YouTube videos because I'm still not out of my way. I'm making the change. But I'm making this video. I'm going to post this video. I'm sitting right here, right now in my studio making this video. Because I'm changing. And I'm making the changes in my behavior so that I can become a social media influencer, a YouTuber, so that I can open up the gates to the things that are really available out there in the world. Because I want to see true change in this world. Because true change needs to happen. But that true change starts with you. Because when you can start looking at the world differently and come from a place of love, always choosing love in every moment, you will inadvertently, through that, no longer need to manipulate anything outside of you. And you will help raise the vibrational frequency of everyone you come into contact with. If you found any value in this video, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to start sharing guided meditations on this channel to help you get into these mindful states and to help you start life visioning and see where it is you want to truly go. I'm going to help you also do body connecting, breath work, things of that nature. I haven't quite figured it out yet, not fully, because that's the whole part of the process of change. You got to go into the unknown. It's all unknown to me right now, but I will figure it out. And I trust that. And I trust that the universe knows my intentions. And if you're someone who would consider themselves as a light worker or someone who is a part of this consciousness shift, and you understand that you're going through some type of spiritual awakening, I really would urge you to follow my content, because I know there will be a lot of tools here to help you navigate through this. And with that being said, that's all I got for you. So do the things, subscribe, comment, let me know what kinds of things you notice in your life with change. Let's just start a conversation, honestly. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Peace, love, and namaste.
Living Meraki, becoming something new.